What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to YouTube Live today, and I hope everybody's having a blast of a day. Now, I scheduled this live like a couple of days ago. Hey, Robin, what's up? But the thing was that I haven't like clicked on the live button on my OBS for the longest time, and then when I click, what happened? It crashes the whole entire OBS, and it took me like 1 hour to actually figure out what happened with all the plugins and everything. But I am back here live. Let me turn on the music a little bit. Get everybody in the mood, shall we? Alright, finally, John is streaming again. Thank you for tuning in, dude. So, my name is John, and welcome to Afterwork, where we discuss anything and everything from photography to content creation. And in the next hour, we will jump into our topic of the day. And today, I've got some really interesting photos to showcase when I was out there shooting Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week with Coterie by Celeste Toy. So some of the very exclusive photos you'll be seeing in this live, so stay tuned. Alright, some housekeeping to do. Let me just tune down the music a little bit. Disturbing. Yeah, OBS is a nightmare. You're right, I concur. Sometimes when everything doesn't work exactly how you want it to be. Alright, some housekeeping. All these live streams can happen because of photography, and through photography, that's how I make a living. And to support me, if any of my photography services do crosses your path, let's discuss. Be it if you're getting married, if you have a family and you want some family photos, if you have a business portrait, hey, yeah, there you go. This is my portrait.com.my website that you can actually engage me to do your business portrait, lifestyle portrait. Did I mention about family as well? And also this johnlo.com, that's where all my wedding portraits photography is, and that's the core part of the business. All right, so when I'm not shooting all these weddings and when I'm not shooting all these things, I'm also just doing my YouTube stuff. You can certainly watch me on YouTube like what I am doing here. So subscribe to my YouTube. All right. Okay. So yeah, all the housekeeping I've said already. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, one more last thing. If you like this kind of stream and you like all this photography content, if you're not gonna be crossing path with me, you're not letting me shoot you, well, you can certainly participate in Buy Me a Coffee. If you like photography content and I'm contributing to your photography know-how, so let me know. Okay, how's everybody doing? So what happened was, I think about 2 months ago, the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week was held in TRX, and I've got employed by Celeste Toy, who runs Celeste Toy wedding gowns, and also right now they are featuring the Coterie by Celeste Toy, which is the ready-to-wear brand where she started during COVID times, all in white. And during Mercedes-Benz Fashion Show, it is a public fashion walk where people from the mall, they all could see whatever happens on the front runway. And what we did was we were hired to shoot the runway and also the behind the scene of whatever happened during the fashion week for Coterie itself. All right, so Google Coterie, you will see her collection on her website is Coterie. That's what I was doing, and I was what happened in this 1 hour or so or less. I think it's gonna last because I'm like going into my talking point straight away already, right? I'll be showcasing how it is, like from conceptualizing the shoot, which is quite straightforward in the sense of hire me, I'll be there, let's discuss what we're gonna shoot, how we plan for it, to actually be there shooting and showcasing the photos for you. All right, and from behind the scene all the way to the front of the house, runway fashion show, I'll show the photos in the next half an hour, and from that on, I want to also showcase to you how is it if we were to do photography from, from head to tail. So you got the photos done, how to put it into a photo album, and then maybe create a very nice little YouTube feature about the brand. How about that? Is that something up your alley as a photographer? Does it intrigue you as a photographer to do something like this? I think if you ask me, me being a photographer, I would be interested in this kind of content. But you let me know. You let me know in the comments right now. You let me know if you're going to be watching this over my YouTube channel later on. Okay? So without further ado, let me just try to share out the screen for you. I'm going to just tune off the music behind and just get into photo sharing mode. Oh, not this one. This one. All right. Of course, it doesn't show up. There you go. That's built-in retina display. Ta-da. Magic of OBS. Okay, there you go. So this is screen sharing. So Robin, yes, you're interested. Well, thank you for tuning in. You're in luck. The next 20 minutes, I'll show you everything I know. So again, a little bit shout out to Coterie by Celeste Joy. Celeste is one of our dear friends, famous in the wedding industry, that design timeless wedding gowns. So that's how I got to know her. And over the years of actually working as a wedding photographer myself, we have various collaborations. I've shot her gowns before. In fact, she supported one of my shoot that I organized over at the Datai Langkawi, where we got through a very lovely couple to go Datai Langkawi donning Celeste Toy's gown and going into the wild and photograph the gowns, and she provided the gowns to do that, right? So Coterie is a ready-to-wear that she came out the brand during the pandemic days, and it is currently running a series of white male and female pieces for celebrities and fashionistas out there. So if you are feeling like you want to be standing out in the crowd when you attend a wedding or a event, even a public event, think about maybe perhaps Coterie by Celeste Toy. Some of the pieces are the pieces are amazing, and it will stand out in white. All right. So last year, what happened was that I've also covered last year's Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week for Celeste. And this year, she got me to photograph again. This time around, we got a little bit more serious, where I've got to get Eric, one of my other photographer friend, who covered the runway itself while I was at the back of the backstage covering the preparation, the makeup, the chaos. That's what is presented to be a pristine show right in front of the house. Right, so we're gonna peel through all these photos, what happened behind the scene, and exclusively over here. So in today's presentation, we're going to showcase the moments happened on the backstage, a quick showcase of the fashion show, and how I translate all these photographs into a photo book. And then after that, I'm going to showcase a complete to complete the whole entire delivery of a 1-minute video for Coterie. Okay, without further ado, so what happened is that the show was somewhere around 2:30 p.m. or 3 p.m. or something like that. So with Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, what happened is that they were different segment from different designer throughout the day, right? So in the morning we have one show from another designer. In the afternoon you have another designer, and in evening you have another designer. So the backstage is really really busy. There were times that we can step in to move in all the clothing to be prepared for the show, and then you have a group of makeup artists which is like really busy actually preparing the models, putting on the makeup, the look, to go with the pieces of as the designer need for the runway show, right? So what happens is that we cannot go in early, we cannot go in too late. Too late, we miss. We will be in a rush. Too early, it will be like other designers are actually working. So when we arrive, what happened is that this we well, the thing is that we had like what 20 models that day that we were for the runway for Coterie. So the backstage is really really small. This is not really big. If you've been to TRX, if you've been to the center park there, if you've seen something of a runway there, maybe I can show you the backstage a little bit later on, how big the location is, but it cannot fit the working crew of say the many makeup artists and hairstylists. It cannot fit all the models for different session. Even you think about organizing it, that there are going to be more models and makeup artists before the show, right? So the makeup room is somewhere upstairs, Cebu. That we had a makeup and hair place, and then we have backstage. So very early on, we started off. We go into the makeup room. Celeste was there to coordinate things. All right. So my role as a photographer, I was hired to cover her story, her involvement, her how she runs the fashion show, and I wish and I hope these photographs that I deliver to her will bring her justice in terms of like documenting what happened during the Mercedes fashion show. Okay, so that's Celeste coming into the makeup room, and then greeted by the rest of the makeup artists and also the showrunner over there. Obviously, she's the designer of the brand. People all know her, so people were getting into works already. Even before she was in, the makeup artists were already there, already doing some tests up. So what happened is that if you look at this particular model over here, it is not really, the photos doesn't show, but what happened is that she was the first model to get makeup, and she was the sample of how the look is going to be for Coterie. So imagine this, you have like 10, 15 makeup artists. The person who are in charge of this look will do up her, telling the rest of the 10 makeup artists, this is the look that Coterie is going to be doing. All right, and this is the sample, the color tone, the contouring, the hairstyle, and everything. All right, so that was a discussion in these particular photos, this set of photos. That's why you see on this particular photo over here, there's a phone there trying to record, the process of actually how she looked like, so that the makeup artist then later on can go off and prepare other models with the similar consistency. Okay, so that's what happened in a makeup room during a fashion walk like this. Okay, so that's Celeste coming in. Her pieces are white in color, and there's also some hair accessories, and her hair accessories are usually white ribbon tying onto the model's hair. So again, people need sample to do things like that, so everybody get into the same page. So these are some of the behind the scenes in the makeup room, how she connects together with the makeup artist and communicate what she desires, the makeup and look. I would think before all this happened, right, she already talk about all these things with the team, how it is. It's just that during execution, you just got to double lock it down, make sure that everything is gonna be correct and all right. And so far so good, guys. Okay, I'm gonna continue straight. Let me just zoom in so that you guys see a little bit better, bigger photos. Okay, like this. Okay, so the rest of the makeup artists were working on these models. So these are Celeste Torres models. Yeah. So that's the very, very early on how they are. There were also male models because, as I was mentioning to you guys earlier, it is a collection of both male and female pieces, right? More towards female. I think she had a lot more different pieces for female, and she got a couple for males as well, right? And you don't see me in these photos because I'm the one taking them, or I'm photographing them. I'm also wearing white to to sort of like blend in to the occasion because the theme is white, and then just looking apart and all. So I didn't really get to know this bunch of models because okay, my background is wedding photography, right? I don't deal directly with models as much as say a fashion photographer do. Okay, those who are doing headshots, those who are doing fashion pieces, those photographers know these models by name, by heart. They hang out, they are friends and everything. I'm like the outsider going into a very niche industry, trying to photograph some stories out of it. Okay, so I'm just walking around, trying to look apart, trying to be blended together in the whole entire process of all this runway fashion photography. And what I was easily using two bodies. That's how I work in weddings. I've got two bodies, one wide, one standard lens, 50mm going around shooting, and I've got an Action 4 and also a Pocket 3 to document some videos while I was doing something like this. Okay, so I just like how this particular photo of a reflection over here where Celeste is looking into some details on the phone. This is Winnie. Winnie is also working for Coterie together. So two of them sorting things out together with the makeup artist coordinators. All right. This is how much of a chaos it is during a makeup thing that's happening. Part of my job is to document all these things, like to tell you how the place actually look like, right? So these sort of like give you a clue of how chaotic the makeup room is. You have all the makeup bags and accessories over here in the foreground, mirrors. They need to reference for the models to look at themselves, and then in the middle of all the whole entire chaos is then the main person who's wearing white, and which she's standing out from this photo quite a bit. There's a model over here that wears white, yes, but I quickly I think the eyes drew to her because she was wearing white, whereas all the makeup artists were wearing black, and this I think gives a very good a representation of she's standing out from the crowd doing this thing, and she's the main person to be photographed. Okay, so moving on from the makeup room. So whilst all the trendy models were getting ready, getting makeup done, we have to go in to. It's the same shot. The makeup process will possibly take what 1-2 hours, and it's gonna be the same shot of getting everybody putting the makeup on. If I were to stay there longer, what I think I was more interested to be preparing also because once the backstage were made available for Coterie, Coterie's dresses were moved in, and to prepare for the models to come in to change into these dresses later on once the makeup is done. and also to give you a good look how the backstage is. This is one of the photo, how these pieces are tagged during a fashion show. I could tell you this, okay? A lot of things that when you all look outside, if you are watching the runway fashion show, is pristine and nice. What behind happens behind the scene is organized chaos. All right, a lot of things are put in a way that is workable. Is barely presentable sometimes, but it is workable. But once it is curated, put on a model, and then ready to go, it is pristine and nice. Okay, so you see, there's a lot of tags over here. Who's gonna be wearing this particular piece? Like for instance, okay, Amber Chia is the key model for this particular. She's gonna be anchoring the end of the runway for Coterie. So Amber Chia has a piece over here. It is written like on a piece of paper, hung on top of the dress that she will be wearing. Okay, let me just see. Robin says, I cannot function very well in this messy situation, like wet market like that. Well, it is a lot more pleasant than wet market, to be honest with you. I think one of the key reasons why people are doing things they do, and it works very well, is because everybody knows their role. Like the makeup artists know what to do, the hairstylists know what to do. Me as a photographer, I was briefed beforehand. I was there at TRX like a couple of days before the show even. I met up with Celeste Choi. All right, this is the role. This is what you'll be shooting, and these are some the models. These are the influencers. These are whoever. So everybody kind of know what they do, and they just purely execute. All right, Johan Septian says it looks hectic. It is hectic. It is a little bit hectic when it comes to when you have so many people all crowded in the same room, in a sense of like getting things done. But they all know what they're doing, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool. So yeah, so these are some of the pieces that hung onto the rack. They are ready for the models to come in once they finish their makeup. So like there are a lot of preparation done even before the show. Like you can see in this particular shot, these are printout of, okay, this model, this is the look. Because what happened is that there will be somebody that's gonna be helping Celeste to dress up the models. Think of it. We have a window of a good maybe 15 to 20 minutes or so before the show goes live onto the runway, and all these models are going to come in, rush in, and change up. So there are some people who are tasked to dress them up, and they have all these item printed. The models themselves, they know what they are wearing and how they could look, right? And then during this time, this printout will be good reference for those helpers, whereas then Celeste is just going through final checks before all these things happen. How long the preparation for the photo shoot? To me, it came almost quite how to say second nature in what I do. Maybe because of the kind of things that I shoot for a living. Mostly my main job, I shoot a lot of weddings. We are literally quite quick on our feet when we look at location like this. What's the best way to actually get things executed? Possibly not the best way without planning, but as good as it gets, right? Like I was briefed to what to shoot, right? I was briefed who the main subject was and what I need to deliver. And my role was behind this stage, right? I've got Eric, like I said, he's going to be covering the front stage. And when on the day when we were shooting something like this, I didn't really care about whatever happened in the front stage because I briefed my other photographer to cover it, and I got to trust him 100%. He will do a good job out of it, right? So I leave the front stage totally out for him. With Eric, I mean, we've been working together as photographers. I'm shooting with him for this one. Sometimes I shoot for him, sometimes he shoot for me. So we trust each other in terms of like getting things done, right? So he will take care of whatever happens in front. I'll take care of whatever at the back. So your question is, how long does it prepare? Well, it's much more, a lot more to do with Celeste Choi preparing for the fashion show rather than me preparing for the shoot, because I'm not doing a catalog, right? I'm not doing a catalog. I'm covering an event. So I think it's a total different thing. I would sometimes things maybe event, yeah, sometimes if it's a very much more drilled down event, you possibly need to do a lot of preparations per se. But usually event photography, we are pretty quick on our feet. I mean, Robin, if you're still listening what do you think? Event photography, preparation wise, is quite minimal, right? We just execute mostly. I just shot. I just last week. I was shooting some product shot in my studio myself. All right, the preparation was enormous. Like I've got to go out and purchase the backdrop for it. I need to source the light to do certain things. I need to make sure that the product looks pristine and everything. So a lot of things has to be prepared. Those are times where we actually do a lot more preparation than the shoot. And then the product, you just put it there, pop, 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 and then the shoot is just like triggering the lights tuck, and the shoot is done. So different things, preparation differently. All right, so let's get back to this one. All right, so that's the last toy. Waiting for the models to come in. That's the portrait. That's a portrait of her. I kind of like this one. We know each other as friends of the industry for the longest time. This was shot with a 20 millimeter. Like literally, the camera is like smack in front. It's just as far as the microphone is, right? 20 millimeter. I put the camera in front of her, took the photo. She let me. She was hearing the click, clack, 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 clack. And then when I removed the camera, she was like, wow, so close one. I mean, she was playing her part. She knows I was photographing her the moment. And then she didn't feel uncomfortable or whatsoever. Maybe she did, because it's like, why is the camera so freaking close to my eye, to my face, that kind of thing. But she trusted me, and then I got these photos. I like it. I like the uncomfortable look in this particular portrait. It is a portrait in the moment. I think these photographs are very, it communicates a lot of what people were during that time, during the execution. Yeah, so Robin just say that, yeah, event is mostly documenting, capturing what is there. We just need to be ready and aware. We just need to know what we are tasked to do. Yeah, and then I'm sure pretty minimal. Everything can change any moment at the event. We did, it did happen. And let me just maybe walk you throughout the rest of the things that happen behind the scene over here. Then I can address that point that you say things do change at the very moment. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. Chaotic mess, which is still good because it's very, very functional. You could see there are names of the models who are actually watching, names of the models who are actually tagged together with the pieces that they are wearing. Wow, they're all white color. Can you imagine if they're not tagged? It's gonna be chaos. Now, even the shoes, we use duct tape, tuck it. Charlene is wearing that pair of shoe, and you don't only tape one side, the left leg, and not taping the right leg. So You got to know what you're doing during preparation. So the preparation part, Johan, is certainly over at Celeste Toys team doing the fashion show. That's the biggest prep that they got to go through. And I'm sure fashion weeks like this are crazy for them. They have to be all hands on deck, preparing even before, like, weeks and weeks into curation of what pieces to be featured, who's gonna wear them, who are the models available, certain models, or these suits, her look and everything, her physics and everything. Well, I want her to be wearing this, that kind of thing. Is she available during the fashion week? Is she available during the fitting and stuff like that? So there's a lot of things to consider. I'm not a fashion designer. I'm just trying to communicate, maybe, those are the steps that they have to think about. I mean, if, let's say, Celeste, you're watching this, maybe you can comment and give them a brief. I wish you are on a stream like this, and you can give a little bit of insight how fashion designer works on a runway like this. Would it be something that you guys want a live about? I think, comment below. If there's a lot of requests, maybe I can reach out to Celeste. I didn't want to trouble her to come put an hour show of talking to me and trying to get some content out of it. Yeah. Sometimes I'm afraid the models got freaked out because the camera's too close. Yes, it will be. There are times where they will feel uncomfortable because they do not know you, especially you go into a room where they are all they were all, how to say, they know each other, the models know each other, and if you are new to this particular group of people, they might not know you. So the first half hour is about breaking the ice. Even if you're not communicating with them, saying hi, hello, I am your cameraman or a photographer or whoever, some gestures, you're surrounding them. I hang out. Okay, how I did it was, I shot the Mercedes Benz Fashion Week last year. So these are the same group of models mostly. So they've seen my faces, but it's been half a year since the last job that I saw them. So they might not recognize me. But the fact that I went into the makeup room together with Celeste and had a rapport with her, and she was directing, here, this is what we do. They have eyes, they heard the conversation, they know that I'm the official photographer. They then let their guards down a little bit. They allow me to shoot however I want. They participate, they smile for me. Sometimes I don't want them to smile for me. Sometimes I just want that particular moment, how they feel, that kind of thing. So they do know, right? In fact, a quick something happened during the show, and I was in the makeup room, and one of the organizers started to take his handphone to walk around and say, beware of this photographer, this dude, right? He's a stalker. He's stalking some models and out there. So if you see him, beware of his existence and stuff like that. So there are people who does that, and I think it's pretty common, and it's pretty sad in a way. Partly maybe because, I don't know, maybe they are new to photography. They do not know what to do. They do not know how to get into these kind of things, right? So it's difficult. Or partly, I just don't know. It's just how people artists mind. Sometimes I'm weird myself, so I don't know. Anyway, I hope I'm not weird around people enough to people ban me and show. Don't let John beware of this dude again. Don't let him photograph you. Don't get him to take selfies with you or something or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, that's Winnie is so now at this particular moment, I think they were about to dress out models. Okay, so these are some of the last shots that I can be showcasing them during that moment because when they're dressed up, no cameras allowed. Photographers, videographers, all out of the backstage for a while, a good 5-10 minutes or so before we can come back in. So yeah, and once they're dressed up, once they're all ready, then we go back in and then continue shoot coverage. So this is a moment. I think Amber Chia came down from the makeup room and have a little moment together with Celeste Toy. You could see this is a combination of a photo. She's laughing, and then Celeste Toy is laughing together with, I think, where's my cursor? Let me move. That's Celeste Toy having a conversation with Amber Chia, and then she's reacting and all. Robin Wong is like, hit the like button, guys. Yeah, hit it well, hit it hard, hit it more times. Can you do more than one like during live, and like how TikTok does? I do not know. I hope these photos are interesting for you guys. I'm not putting you guys to sleep. I'm not sure how long I've been live already or what. I am live for the past stream settings, stream viewer activities. Yeah, I do not know where to see anymore. Oh, I'm live for 36 minutes already. I've been talking so much. Oh my god. Right. Okay, this is gonna be a 4 photo of models getting ready. So the part that I say that when they are dressed down and you're not supposed to photograph. So this is when they are like 80% ready. So they're dressed up already. Celeste is going to model to make sure that the ribbons are tight, right? The look is complete. The headgears are right. All these things before walking out to the runway. I like this. I like this photo a lot. Like, you know how models are as good looking as they are when they are presented with the final look to go out to the stage and to showcase people, as good as they are even without makeup and everything. I try to respect them to not show the before and after, and that's what I try to do all the time. Even for say wedding couples, I don't show before and after, before the makeup and then after when they are doll up to their wedding gowns and stuff like that. I only show like almost the final product per se, that kind of thing. And I like this one because Amber Chia, she noticed that I was photographing her, and she gave me a death stare. Well, it's not really a death stare, but she looks into the camera, as as professional as she is as a model. She knows what I was doing. She looked at the camera, gave me a pose. That look while she was doing makeup, I thought that was fun. Yeah, thanks Robin for telling me 30 minutes. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Keep listening on, Johan. Thank you for listening. All right. So I love this kind of photo. So okay, until now, right? Almost until now, you don't see a hand of me trying to direct people on an occasion like this. I seldom do until I need to. Like for instance, if I were to say need a group shot like this to tell a story, for sure I need to direct them. This is moments before actually heading out already. Everybody was kind of ready. I'm not sure whether you can see how big the backstage is. It's really really small. This is possibly. So what happened is that the backstage is divided into two two segment because there were two designers. All right, this is actually stepping into other designers' room, where you can see on the right hand side of the photo right here. Let me just move my cursor. You can see other pieces are hung up here. These are other pieces for the designer that's going to be doing catwalk straight away after Coterie, if I remember correctly. And we were all squeezed here because another designer were to prepare and they were going out already to the catwalk, right? So we were all squeezed here, and I got everybody. Hey guys, look over here, get a photo. This is when if you are very critical in terms of say technicality, this is where I failed because if you look at this dude over here, he's like totally blurred, and then the focal point is like all in the center and at the back, right? John, why can't you use f8? F8 very dark lah. I've got no light. I've got one light that I brought and I was shining at one location. And because of how chaotic the room is, I cannot move these lights as fast as I could. Unlike, say, the very experienced photographer that was covering for other brands as well, he has a flash that's ready to go, and he was shooting F8 possibly. I was much more of a different style of a photographer. This is my 20 millimeter. I'll possibly shooting at f2 or something at a high ISO. Hence, the front people are not in focus. In a way, I don't mind it as much. If you want to really count in terms of technicality, when I was shooting the time, I know it's gonna be blur because of what the setting that I was doing, but I thought it would still be okay, and I think it's still okay. I think it's still a very nice photo to showcase. This is also a 20 millimeter f 1.4, 1.8 kind of shot. I like using the 20 millimeter in these closed enclosures. I like that the model is sharp, and then Celestoi is behind, Winnie is behind, not as sharp. I like depth in photos. Robin says, behind the scene, usually no flash, so disruptive. Oh, well, the thing is, with fashion, right, I've covered a couple of fashion shows. I was involved in the Datai's what's the name of the designer? Bastamam. And I wasn't the main photographer. I was employed by the Datai to actually shoot the event itself, right? And the fashion designer's photographer has always flashed with him, and he's always flashing to get his exposure, which I kind of get it. It gives you the 90s direct flash kind of vibe. I kind of like it also. It's just that I don't know how to do it perfectly. Or maybe I don't try enough, and I kind of like this kind of look. I really like to expose what it is. I didn't even. Oh, I did bring my flash. I just didn't put it on. It's just different. All right. So once those group photos were done, they are back to themselves, getting ready to head out. Waiting for the designers who are actually doing the runway right now. So this is like in between. So what's happening, right? These people are just chilling at the back, and front of the house, people are all clapping and show the designers, the other models for other brands were like walking up and down, up and down, up and down. So this is what happened lah at the back, right? People are just chilling, laughing. Moments like this. We even have time for selfies like that. This again, it's not flash. It is also wide open. I like it though in the sense of like my my feature is Celeste Toy herself, the designer, and the rest can be bouquet lah. But you see, not too bad, not too shabby. I mean, I do know myself. I step back and then everything goes a little bit sharp. 20 millimeter. I'm not sure if it's because of my lens being old or the side distortion has a little bit softer right now. Over here, it is pretty soft on this particular side. The rest, okay lah. Again, this particular shot, I've got to emphasize how tiny the room is, okay? And I could only shoot with the 20 millimeter with the kind of light that's available, f4. And this is a makeshift group shot that we did. So after the runway walk, we gathered outside at the back of the backstage. So imagine this. Okay, so this is wherever they are standing, this is where they stand, okay? And then the blue thing over here, these boards over here, what people see is just blue boards, but what it is basically a space that makeshift under the escalators over here, which is the backstage. And behind this backstage is the runway itself, okay? So this one, it's very difficult to organize 20 odd people to move away from one location to another to get a group photo. So we make shift with whatever we have over there. Walk out from the backstage, we got a little bit more space. We spread people out and we gather and do a group shot of the whole entire runway for Coterie. Of course, a little bit easier, a little bit more casual, something to remember on than the formal photos. Okay, so that's what happened at the back of the whole entire runway show. And what I'm going to do next is certainly show you a couple of photos of whatever happened in front of the house, which is the runway where Eric shot. But before that, how's everybody doing? Did I miss any messages? How many people is actually watching? Wow, we got 3,003 people watching the whole entire live. So many people, Anyway, thank you for staying on with me. And if you are like me, a photographer, and you find this kind of content very, very interesting, don't forget to subscribe. And again, just to make sure that everyone knows, this live stream can happen because of photography, and through photography, that's how I make a living. And to support me, if my photography services crosses path with your life, let's discuss. My work is available at johnlow.com, where johnlow.com is all my wedding portfolios, where we shoot wedding day and also wedding portraits. I've got a exclusive website just for langkawiweddings.com alone, right? I figured Langkawi is such a beautiful island in Malaysia and hosted a lot of weddings. I have to have a different website just to host all weddings that I shot in Langkawi. And you can certainly see it there. Okay, for business portrait, you could certainly join me. If you need a business portrait, you can go to portrait.com.my. If you need a lifestyle portrait, if you want to dress cool with a nice lighting and everything, I do shoot that kind of photos as well. You can check out my portfolio at portrait.com.my. I do family photos in location, in my studio, and also outside. I just came back from Langkawi last week photographing a family that was staying in Ritz-Carlton, right? So what happened is that the family, the couple actually hired me to shoot her wedding a good 15 years ago, right? And now they are with 3 kids, the eldest being 13 years old, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And the youngest one is somewhere around 5 years old, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And we spent an evening at the beach, photographing, the kids going into water, playing with sand, and going into the pool, and that's what we did. So that's what I did over in Langkawi last weekend. So if you are looking for a family photographer, think about me. So when I'm not shooting these weddings, I'm also on YouTube. You are looking at my current YouTube web channel over here. You can subscribe if you like about weddings, and I'm weddings if you like about photography. But I'm also a big fan of, say, outdoor camping. So I've got another channel which is not a lot of videos. Nowhere But Here sounds good, huh? Nowhere But Here. There's 2 videos about camping that I've uploaded there. One coming up soon, not about camping but hiking. When I was in Langkawi last week, I did a video. I haven't compiled it, I haven't edited it, but it is coming. One more video coming up over there. Otherwise, just drop me a note on by scanning this QR code, and drop me a note over there, and I should be able to get to you if you need all these photography services. All right. Robin, I forgot to have a drink. I talk too much. All right, let's get back to the portfolio, shall we? So this is the front of the house. This is the runway show. This was shot by Eric. So I feature each and every single pieces that Coterie has been showcasing over at the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Show 2025. This is it. So with venues like this, usually they have stage lights and all. So no flashes, just natural light. Just meter for whatever stage light there is, and then you capture these photos. As much of chaos happens at the back end, it is managed, it is with a purpose, it is for efficiency, and at the same time, at the end of the day, you get results just like this. Very professional, very demure, very pretty. Oh, in case if you did catch on it, if you see her a lot more in my photos, simply because she's a twin to another sister, so they are twins. So it's not her alone. So you're actually seeing 2 people. Yeah. So these are the pieces from Coterie. I like the gown for the male models one. Can you imagine if you were to, say, step into a movie premiere with this gown being a dude? Firstly, I guess you need to be as tall as him to be good looking and give that. What's that stare? That movie, the blue eye. I can't remember what's the name. That stare. Yeah. You got to know how to do that to carry this outfit. Look at that. Look at the stare, man. Not too shabby, right? Eric did a very good job in capturing all these. It was between a 70-200 and also a wide angle. So this is the finale where we feature we feature the main model. So we have a couple more photos of her posing in front, amber chair. Look at her, how elegant she is, right? Commanding the runway. That's the finale. I just like how Celeste Toy, she is when stand amongst models. She's a petite size kind of lady, and amazing. She stand tall together with the models and all. Yeah, so that is what happened in front of the house, in front of a runway where everybody see publicly happen. All right. So when you see a live done by John today, you saw whatever chaos that's happened in the backstage, and then you see whatever happened in the front. Okay. I hope these are some of the things that interest you guys, and you see something interesting in this particular live show. So before the last part that I wanted to drive back home, the whole entire live show, is the fact that I actually covered this work from head to tail, in the sense of like um, getting hired to shoot the show, to actually executing the shoot itself, and then I want to show you guys um, the process of actually laying out this into a album that could be printed out uh, as a final product per se. You know, when I compile and curate these photos into a presentation, say like a life like this, then you feel there's some sort of a narration, a story, and a progression to these photos, right? When you look at these photos on, say, on your mobile phones or on your laptop, whatsoever, it is one piece at a time. It doesn't have a collection of photos. Well, let's just say that I delivered a lot more photos than whatever you saw in the presentation, right? There are a lot more supplementing photos to the whole entire ones that I showcase to tell a story. Same goes with a album. Album is also a way to like curate a group of photos that fits together and tell cohesive story. Think about say, if you're a director of a movie, if you're gonna be shooting, say, Superman, okay, you have a lot of raw footages. You have raw footage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not 1 to 10 you're gonna be using in terms of into the final cut. You gotta curate the whole entire raw footages from 1 to 10. Maybe out of the 10, you have like 3 to 4 curated footages that you stitch together for a scene, for instance, right? So you become the director. You become the person to group together these photographs to tell a cohesive story, and that's interesting. And I think this is something missing in terms of like a final delivery of, say, a photo walk, a wedding in this day and age, because a lot of people just want the photo. And as much as it is, when you have a physical album held held and then you flip, it's a different kind of feel altogether. Okay, so I want to just show you some of the things that I've done in terms of laying out the album, so you sort of like know how it looks like in terms of the physical, or rather the virtual copies of it, how I put it in InDesign to design the album. And then after that, I've actually delivered the album to Celeste Toy already, but I did do an unboxing, and I'll be featuring that later on at the end of this live stream. So let me just launch up. Wow, my computer is slowing down. Anyway, let me just launch up my InDesign. Okay. And now let me show you how the album design looks like. And I want to also, okay, where's the cover? I love designing cover of a book. Where is the cover? Let me just launch the cover live cover. Nope. Nope. I don't even need to launch the InDesign, to be honest. I just launched Final Print and you guys will be able to see everything. Pa, pa, pa. Okay, so let's do this. OBS. Nope, wrong screen to show. This one. Okay, there you go. Okay, so this is the cover that I designed for the book. Okay, so if you look at this particular cover, on the right hand side, this is the front cover. On the left hand side, this is the back cover. All right, so we have a portrait of Celeste that I shot even before the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. This one, so I incorporate that into the front cover. Right, so this is how the album looks like in terms of layout. So Coterie designed with heart. So what happened was when Coterie participated in this Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, and over a month later of articles and write-ups of the whole entire Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, I went and curated all these texts from different people, different influencers who were talking about the event, talking about Coterie, talking about Celeste, and putting it into a album like this. All right, so Coterie designed with heart and all these things. These are quotes coming from different press events and stuff. All right, so that's the first page. So imagine if you were to open the cover, that's the first page, sort of like introduction what Coterie is. And then you have left and right. So the spine is in the center right here, in the center. So on the left is the left side of the book, and on the right is the right side of the book. This is a 12 by 12. So if you're going to put 12 by 12 together, you get a 24-inch album when it's open on the spread. Okay, so you saw this photo before when I was showcasing those photos during live earlier. I've converted everything behind the scene to be black and white. Don't ask me why. It's just something I thought, hey, it will look nice in this particular album. Okay, so whatever you saw in color, this version are in black and white. Okay, I think it will still work in color, I would reckon. It's just I prefer to do something in black and white. So again, center spine in the center right here. Maybe I'll just bring in the InDesign. You all can see better the center spine. Let me just move. Ta-da! Okay. So this is the next page. So these some were some of the images that I didn't put in the live coverage. Beautiful mess turned into beautiful mess turns into runway perfection. These are not my words, by the way. These are words from those presses release and all. And she also did makeup herself over there. So these are some faces of all the models getting ready during the makeup process. So left and right, you have. I can design in layouts like this in comic panels, and then one big feature of the photo. Again, comic panels like that. The nice part about designing an album is also be able to like change the ratio of a particular photo. Some photo actually, when you do a a crop to it, being a 1:1 crop or a 3:4 crop, can look nicer than a 2:3 crop. And when you put together with the rest of the photos, it has that kind of symmetry. It looks pretty nice when it's laid out together, right? So some of these photos you guys seen, it is of almost the same story that I've tell you guys about. I think this is easily a 80-pager kind of album that I did. Tell me, I know he is an influencer, a celebrity. I just do not know who is he. I think he's pretty important. Okay, so that's the last and Amber Chia. So some more moments that's not shown in live earlier just now in black and white right now. Kind of like this as well. How Amber Chia is looking over to whatever's happening around. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. So left panel, right panel in terms of book. So when you have a 12 by 12 book, the way I lay things out, I mean there isn't a perfect way of laying things out. Or there isn't a wrong way to lay things out as well. To be honest, it's just like how you feel, how you want to present your work. Like for instance, there's a lot of negative space over here that I purposely left out. So this one matches the left matches to the right, and then this negative space at the bottom, right? Yeah. So it's 80 pages altogether. Um, so I do have a lot more room to play with. This is something that I lay out all the looks that's inside before they head out to the runway itself. So I was saying, right, things changes. You got to like do things differently. So what happened was like halfway shooting this, the previous group were ready to go out, and what happened is they needed to use the space, and we couldn't continue to shoot at the same location. So stop for a while. We got to redo the whole entire set at a different location, which we did. So I've got another set of photos that looks exactly like this, but a different location, different light. I don't like it. So what happened was that right before everyone that went out to the runway, I continued shooting some of it at this location. So hopefully I got a complete set of all the pieces before they go out to the runway. So I have like a centerpiece over here just to make it a breaker to show what's in front of the house, and it's in Technicolor. Sounds 90s, eh? And this is how it looks like. I mean, I was showcasing the front of the house, the front runway photos piece by piece when I was presenting just now. It's the same thing. Instead, I put left and right over here, except of course of Amber Chia, her poses and everything. I think this spread is actually glorious. And then these are the final walks of the runway show. The thank you, the introduction of Celeste Choi for Coterie, waving hi to KOLs, to guests, to people who are fans of the brand. And finally, of course, you've got the rest of the crowd over here, the group photos that I take outside the backstage. Okay, so finally, the last part that I wanted to showcase in terms of like the album is all these cutout and press releases that I managed to gather on the internet scouting that talks about Coterie and Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week 2025. All these put into a album. And to just wrap things up, two more things I want to show you all. This is the album that I compiled, and have a look. Okay, guys, you guys from the future. This is John, and today we're going to be reviewing the photo album that I printed for Coterie by Celeste Toy. And this is a 12 by 12 album inside a clamshell box right now, and it's white in color, same as the branding as Coterie, because all their gowns are in white, right? So 12 by 12, that's in inches, and then this particular shipment of the album comes in a clamshell box. And what do I mean? It opens up this way, and then that reveals the top part of the album. Okay, so it has a tab over here for me to pull out the album. So this is a 12 by 12 album by itself. It has a lot of details. That's the front cover printed. That's Celeste Toy and her logo, and Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week Kuala Lumpur 2025. We have a spine over here that says John Low. That's my logo. And then some detailing on the spine that says that's the Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week Kuala Lumpur. And then my logo behind, and this is how it looks like printed at the back. So this is a hardcover album. Okay, so it looks like that. 12 by 12 is basically square, and if I were to just put it on here and then open up each and every single pages for you guys, it will look something like this. Okay, so let's flip it up. The design, as I'm not sure what I've shared with you guys in the future in the live stream, but I'm assuming that you saw some of the photos that's done that I've showcased during the live stream. And this is how the album looks like when I flip. So sort of like an introduction text, and then goes into some of the nuances of what happened during the shoot, during the fashion walk. This is all behind the scene. So I made it black and white for everything behind the scene, and some description over here. And then as we go in, we describe what this album is all about. This Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week Kuala Lumpur 2025, and then it goes into the behind the scene of whatever happened during the fashion show. All right, so at the very beginning is obviously the makeup, and then these are the goods that was done by Celeste, where she would then instruct all the dressing up, making sure that everybody dress up properly, get into their gears before the fashion shoot. We have Amber Chia over here getting ready to go on stage. This is before they change into their gowns and attire to catwalk. Right, so you can see Amber Chia getting ready, some touch up on the makeup. By this time, you know, well, I probably have shared together with you guys just moments before we head out to the show itself. So there's a good, what, I don't know, 40 to 60 pages of behind the scene. And then there's a transition page where then I move on to the colored version of whatever happened at TRX outside, where the public saw the catwalk of the design that Celeste Toy were featuring for Coterie. So this is every single pieces presented during the fashion show, and it's beautifully crafted and printed out on these papers like that. It is glorious, the colors. I know it's a little bit difficult to see because around me, my studio over here is all in RGB. It will certainly put a cast on the print itself. Whatever you guys saw, say on the black and white, it may have a color cast on the screen, but rest assured it is black and white on paper, right? So all in all, this album is about 80 pages. I think for this kind of quality of paper, where it is not flush mounted on a board, 80 pages seems to be the minimum to make the album feel pristine and heavy. I think somewhere around 80 to 120 pages will be very nice for this configuration, say 12 by 12. All right, so the bigger the album in terms of width and height, the more that you can play with, right? If it's a landscape, you know, then you don't have to worry so much about the center spine, so forth and so on. So I would like to just maybe forward to the last page of the album, where I printed all the nice little press releases that happen on social media. I put it together in last page, sort of like for a memory kind of thing. And I think this is a kind of nice touch for whatever happened during the event. And of course, a little bit of me photography by John Low, and then a QR code over here. If they scan, it will lead to my website. So this is it, 12 by 12 album of what we could do, translating from photographing an event to the actual photos that you see on social media. And nowadays, not many people appreciate it, but I think print is just nice when you can actually hold the picture with your hands, right? So back to you guys in the future. John, take it away. Yeah, print is just different when you are able to just hold it in your hands and present it. All right, what do you think about the album so far? Okay, I tell you what, last plug, okay? If you guys are into photography, do subscribe to this particular channel, which is, of course, John Low. Or if you guys are into content creation, there's nowhere but here you can subscribe about my camping videos. Otherwise, I'm available. I'm a photographer for hire, available for weddings, portraits, and whatever not. All these are available on these websites, okay? Otherwise, just scan in the QR codes and contact me. Last part, I want to showcase the video that I made for Coterie at the end of the day. Just give me a sec. Let me just load it up. Let me pause my Spotify, launch my full screen, push it here, and I'm going to leave you guys with this video. There you have it, a full entire coverage from the conception of the shoot to photographing the behind the scene to the front stage, making a photo book out of it, and also a video. It's a complete coverage, man. So being a photographer, you could put all these things together as a whole entire package and to sell to the client. What do you guys think? Well, thank you for joining me 1 hour each in this episode of After Walk Live. I hope you guys get something out of it. Some nice photo story that I story you guys. These are all my social links that I have over here. Thank you for watching, and until I go on live again, if you like whatever I'm doing over here, give some encouragement in the description and in the comments below. Then, maybe I'll spend more time in actually planning all this live. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys